night, Carlos and Jay, alright. Talking love so bright under the studio lights. Dating tips galore, they're never a bore. Laughing till we're sore, tuning in for more. Love in black and white, they keep it loose and tight. Putting love back in sight with every funny bite. Relationships they break, from real to all that's fake. These guys never flake, always make you stay awake. Love in black and white, Carlos, Jay take flight. Keep your love in mind so right, every single night. Through laughter, tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear. Through laughter, tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where each week we're going to try and put that love back in you right. That's so creepy. I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and as usual, we have the co-host, the Black de Bergerac. You've seen him on Amazon Prime, part-time famous, full-time funny, Carlos Anthony.
What's happening? Cheers.
What's up? Oh, you got a like? Hey, look, I got a little solo cup too. It's like we're at the same party.
There we go. Cheers.
You just go like tink. We're like sitting next to each
Right.
other.
Hold on. They do it that way. There it is.
King. Oh Jesus! All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, how you doing, Carlos? And here, you know what? We should start off these episodes now every week with any dates from this last week.
Shit, no.
All right, moving on. Just checking.
I mean, we can start with that every day, but it's probably gonna be that same answer. You had me thinking. I was like, did I go? No. No.
Any numbers?
No.
Any booty calls? Nothing.
No. Nothing.
All
Just, hey man, listen.
Just chilling at home on your little tiny TV.
This man, life is good. Sometimes you just you just gotta accept the blessing of this peace of mind. So yes, it's been quiet on all fronts. Nothing exciting at all, actually, which is to some people that probably would be depressing, but I'm like,
yeah, nothing exciting I mean, there's excitement, good and bad.
absolutely.
Excuse me. We got some good things. You put this video in here. I want to bring it up in here so we can watch it really quick. Let me see.
Oh, so I'm glad that it came up like that, so you can just pull it up. Perfect.
Yes. Oh, let me pause that bad boy. Let me unmute it, and then we're going to share this video. Present. Share screen. Let's do it.
I'm trying to get this up, making sure everything was rolling on my YouTube as well. Let's go with it.
Can you hear? Okay. I mean, can you see it? Sorry.
I can see it. I can't hear it.
I'm like, can you hear it? No? All right, here we go. How do you know if she's using you? That's the title of this video.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
People, if a woman is playing you or not.
Mm-hmm.
I know women
Can you
right
hear
now that I be like, man, I feel bad for anybody that they with, because these women are cold. They'll play a role for 2-3 years. You'll see on their Instagram, they put out, they kissing this man all the while. I know them personally. They hate this man guts, and they just waiting for their right opportunity. They milking this man out all he get. If that man would go to jail today, I promise you she's snitching. If he go to jail today, I promise you she gone. Because I'm giving up the gang. Yeah, I'm giving it up. It's a lot of women out here who literally, this is their only job. and they will sit with you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get the mother job done with a straight face, have sex with you every mother day. You will not be the wiser. But let me tell you how you peep that though. This is the thing. This is the way that you can peep if a woman is playing you or not. You cannot give her anything. The only woman who is going to stick around with you when you don't buy her this, when you don't buy her that, when you don't take care of her bills, when you're not giving her something, is a woman who actually likes you for you. If you stop doing those things for her, if you're not giving her money, supporting her, and she still deals with you, then you know she's there for you. If you stop doing that and she stops with you, well, then you know what you had on your hand. But these dudes, they leave with the money. They giving her this, they giving her that, they giving her this, and giving her that. You are a mark in her eyes. It's like certain prey. You are prey. They understand the difference. And guess what? The dude like me that they come up to, 2 seconds, they know, hey, can you do this for me? No, I'm cool. Oh, they on to the next. As soon as they see you and you be like, oh, here you go. They like, got one. They call that girl up, caught me one, caught me a big fish. And that's how they talking behind y'all back. Teach your kids about life. There's people out here, only job they have is to try to finesse you out your bread. And a lot of these women, that's the only job they had.
Interesting. All right.
Apollo looks funny. It looks like he almost like it's AI.
I know. Hey, Paulo, get in there. Get in there, buddy. It's because they're green.
On this topic, Apollo.
Yeah, Paulo, all he has to say is bitches, man. Bitch.
Right.
Go ahead. You want to say something, Paul? No. All right. No mouth kissing. We don't do that. Anyways, it's interesting. And now, what made you put that in our presentation for this week?
Because it's a great topic. I mean, it's a great topic to discuss and pick your brain and anybody else who may be coming on to the live as to what their opinions are of that. But it definitely sparked interest because I've seen both sides of that. So some points he was making, I was kind of like, okay, I get that. But in other parts, it's a very slippery slope to play. It's a dangerous game to play if you're genuinely looking for someone. Because I don't know, but I'm gonna let you go ahead first, and then I'm gonna piggyback on this.
Okay, so excuse me. You know, like in our dating careers or lives, I guess. You know, I've dated all kinds of women, and I've always said, and this goes for guys and or guys and girls. Or they thems or whatever you identify with, whether it's whether it's a guy that's just trying to get some ass, or a woman that's a gold digger, or a guy that's a gold digger, whatever. I've always said, like when in my dating life, I would tell women, I'm like, if I'm the kind of person where I will lie or do whatever just to fuck, then that's how that's going to come out eventually, whether I fool you for, whatever, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever. If that's how I am, that's how I am. And it's going to come out. So, I don't, all I can be is how I am. And I will, act, and unless you give me reason to doubt you, I'm not going to doubt you, or I'm not going to go into it just going, okay, this is what there's obviously there'll be signs, there can be signs, like, okay, that seems kind of shady, and make a note of it, and then if signs keep coming up, then maybe you can make a decision. But I don't go into things like okay, I'm gonna present myself a certain way. I'm going to be me. I've always said I'd rather you hate me for me than like me for what I'm not. So I'm going to just take you at your word unless you give me reason not to. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know if I answered it, but I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
I mean, because here's the thing is that if you are genuinely looking for someone to be a partner with, if you're going into it with the mentality that, hey, I'm not going to do nothing for you and let me see if you really like me for not doing nothing for you, then I think it's a dangerous slope to play, because everybody's looking for something. It's a reciprocation in a relationship. So if you don't understand that going in, then I don't know what you're being in a relationship for. So it's a reciprocation both ways. So giving someone something doesn't make you a sucker. It doesn't mean that every woman's out here trying to use you for what you're giving. The only part that I kind of caught that he said was when you're leading with that, then yeah, there are women out here that are like, shit, man, listen, I've gotten fucked over so many times by dudes who are broke and didn't do anything for me. So if you're leading with the money, then goddamn it, lead with the money. And I'm gonna take everything that you have to offer until you tapped out. And then I'm gonna go to the next dude. Yes, there are women that are like that, but that depends on what bracket you looking in too.
Right.
If you're looking for that type of woman that's out here and they out in these streets and they like to, to party and have a good time, and you know that's what they're about, then you know what you're getting yourself into. So all is fair in love and war.
Yeah, and it's also, what are you able to do? And also I've every girl I've ever dated, like if I've got her a gift or something, or I saw something, I was like, oh, she'd like this, and got it for if they're like, oh, you didn't have to do that, or if they're like, oh, what do you expect? I always tell people, I'm like, if I get you something, I don't get you anything because I'm expecting something in return. I got you it, or I did something for you because I wanted to, not because like, oh, I'm going to do this so I can get this. And so, what am I able to give? I may not be making a lot of money right now. And so, but if I'm rich, and it's just, there's different levels on what you're able to do. And so, if I was, a multimillionaire, I probably would, be more, have more ability to do nicer things or give nicer things and this and that. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't stop myself from doing that, because in the back of my head, I'm like, I should wait. I should test her and all this other, make her jump through hoops before if I got it and I can do it and I want to, then I'm going to do it. I do things because I want to, not because I feel I have to, or I'm expecting something in return,
It's interesting to hear. I don't know that dude, but again, appearance is everything to me. He's sitting there draped in Louis Vuitton and alleged.
Is it really Louis Vuitton, Carlos?
Right. That's what I said. That's why I said allegedly. Allegedly, from what you sitting there draped in Louis and you got the chains on and you talking about I ain't giving no chick nothing. Well, okay. I mean, that's your choice. Then go buy you some more fake Louis Vuitton and your chains and go on about your business. But I don't think I know too many women of the caliber of woman that I would expect that if she says you want to go to dinner and I say, nah, I'm not. I go, but I ain't paying for it. That she going to be like, oh, okay. Well, let me prove to you how much I want to be with you, that it's okay. Yeah. That would seem foolish to me. For me to expect that woman be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna rock with that.
Yeah, and again, it's all what you're able to do. Like I remember, I didn't get my driver's license, I think till I was like 21 or 22, because I didn't have a car. So in my head, I was like, well, what the fuck do I need a driver's license? I got nothing to drive, and I almost. Some people, dating around that age might be like ashamed to mention that or be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. I wore it like a badge of honor, because I was like, if I'm talking to a girl and she wants to go out and I tell her, I'm like, oh, just so you know, I don't have a car, but I can either meet you there or, or whatever, we can figure that out. And she still wants to talk, then I know that, great. Okay. She definitely wants to get to know me, versus if she's like, oh, you ain't got no car. Well, then yeah, I don't.
Right.
Bye. It's like,
because then I ain't gonna say then you know what she's about. I mean, some people just be like, I don't know what I'm dealing with, I'm getting into, so I don't want to deal with that. And that's cool too. Yeah. But I just think, like I said earlier, it's a dangerous slope to play if you're trying out here playing these games, trying to believe that someone needs to prove to you how much, especially from a man's perspective, the woman got to prove to you how much she likes you before you start chipping in on the reciprocation. That ain't that shouldn't fly either way. Yeah,
and it, like he was saying, like if a lady asked me, hey, do you want to? Well, how pose that again? How did he say the thing about dinner? What was it?
He's talking about basically if she wanted to go. I think he said if you wanted to go out or something and she wants to do that, and you tell her no. Then essentially the woman that sticks around is the woman that's there because she really likes you.
Okay, so again, like because you know, I don't 100% know like your financial history, but I mean, I've been all over the spectrum. I made good money. You know, I worked in corporate America. I was a director of technical support at a company, and I've been homeless. So I've been all over the spectrum. So, in a situation where if a lady was like, oh, I'd love to see you. You want to go get dinner or something. If I'm in the position where I don't have the money, I would just be honest. Because I'd rather you hate me for me than like me for what I'm not. So I would have no problem being like, I want to spend time with you, and I would love to take you out to dinner, but right now I'm strapped. I have these bills that came up and blah blah blah, and that actually I think could be a good thing on how she reacts to that.
Absolutely.
Because if she's like if she's a smart ass or something, like, oh, you can't even afford a dinner, I'd be like, no. No, I got no problem telling you that at all. Or if she's like, oh, I get it, and maybe she'll be like, well, we can go to the park, that doesn't cost anything, we can go to the park and talk and chill. Fucking great. Or she might be like, I'll get it this time, you get it when you can. Fucking even, what a dope person, so yeah, I think it really, I think, is a mentality of how you're going into it. I don't know how old this guy is, and I'm sure he fucks all the time. Good for him.
I mean, you got anybody who wears that kind of outfit, I'm sure he's getting it. But a lot of that, I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said about being able to explain to her up front. I think that's when you get your ego out of the way, because we have big egos, especially when it comes to women. We want to impress the woman. We want to have her engaged with us and feeling the ways. But it's a strike to our ego when we have to tell a woman it's not confident. A man that's not confident in himself has that ego. I he's having a whole dog fight, man.
Yeah, these motherfuckers. I shut the door, but I didn't shut it all the way, and so now they're going fucking crazy. One sec. Don't forget where you're at. Get out of here, you fucks. Hey, come on.
Thor, like, let me up in this. Y'all talking about the women. Let me get up in there.
Jesus Christ.
Hilarious.
I love my dogs. All right. Okay, go on.
That's growth. I think once a man gets his ego out of the way and stop worrying about, you can't hear nothing I'm saying right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying, once a man gets his ego out of the way and he starts to be at that level that you were at, like you saying, hey, listen, I just ain't got it. And so either we're gonna have to figure this out, or I understand that you're gonna go on separate ways and find somebody who you think can. Then until a man gets to that point, it's gonna be hell on him. It's gonna be hell trying to prove to a woman beyond that.
A lot of this is like he's talking about women being deceptive. He's being deceptive.
100%.
I'm like, I'm like, just everything. And I honestly think comedy, being comics, it really helps us in being honest in life in general. Like, we're on stage and you're all your wounds are open for everybody to see. Like when I shout out to Big Pine Comedy Festival and the comedy camp, but when I was talking about storytelling, I was telling the people at the class about being vulnerable on stage. Vulnerability connects huge with the audience, and I told the story about, like, Jesus, I got to get a new mic. But I was telling the story about when I was fat, like I would never fuck with my shirt off, right? And for the longest, I was like, I got an audition for a horror movie playing a demon statue, and then they did the statue makeup, and they go, hey, in the movie we may have you go shirtless. And I was like, shirtless? I don't even fuck shirtless, right? So they laughed at that, and I for the longest I was like, it's funny, but do I want to tell it on stage? It's kind of embarrassing. And then when I did tell it on stage and got this huge laugh, I was like, wow, what the fuck? Why was I telling that? And so he's being deceptive on like not being honest as far as like putting somebody through hoops or having these tests in your head. Is fucking Sanders said you're jiggling, baby. Go ahead, Go ahead. What up, Sanders?
What up?
But having these like tests and hoops that you're having somebody jump through to try and test them, it's all deceptive. Whereas if you just are upfront and honest, and again, giving people the benefit of the doubt, unless you give me reason to doubt you, I won't doubt you. You know, so
very simple concept.
Yeah, you know, I got a lot of good sayings, you know, from my many years.
When you said you didn't have a car, I just figured it was because your feet was touching the ground when you.
It wasn't invented yet.
Right? Yeah, right.
Had a horse
outside and crank it up.
Flintstones.
Right.
Fucking so funny.
Yeah, man. And I guess the moral of that point though is people stop playing with people's emotions. Like it doesn't bode well for you or the other person to go in it gaming instead of just being who you are. Like just be who you are and then let the chips fall where they may. Either they gonna like you or you gonna get played. And here's the reality to that: we've all gotten played. Yeah. We've all gotten played. So what's the difference? And once you learn that, okay, well, I learned those signs. Let me not let the next person do that to me. So that's fucking life. It just happens.
Dude, he actually, I mean, I get why I'm not saying I agree with it. I understand why he does what he does. Mm-hmm. He's got this thing in his head. I totally understand why he does it. But he may get the answer sooner if he was upfront about everything. Like if a girl's like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? And he's like, just so you know, like I remember when I was single and I would be at the bars, and if a girl asked me to buy her a drink, I would tell her, I was like, oh, I don't buy girls drinks at the bar. I just don't. And like if they asked me, I would tell them, I was like, you know, because you'll meet somebody and you know they'll say everything, and you're like, God, I might make a connection. You buy them a drink, and then you see them walk away with your drink. So I would just be honest. I'm like, you know, if you're my friend or whatever, yeah, sure. But I was like, I don't know you. I just met you. And, you know, you could be saying the same thing to whoever, you know, but if he was just upfront with someone that's like, you know, I'm really conscious or really, what do you call it? Conservative or about his money, you know, what up, crazy cutie. And I don't feel comfortable. You know, we don't really know each other. I know we're getting to know each other, but I just don't feel comfortable, you know, paying for dinner right now. And you know, he'll probably miss out on a lot of women, but that might be what he, you know, wants in the grand scheme of things.
Or needs, yeah.
What? How dare you, crazy cutie? We're talking about a video we watched. If you were here on time, you would have seen it. And what up, A-Barn?
What's happening, everybody?
Car. Hey, car. You want to go to the next thing? Since crazy cutie doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's all about you, crazy. Okay. I like this one. Sometimes we have to admit when I'm about to fucking throw this microphone.
Hey, man.
Sometimes we have to admit when we are the problem in the relationship. Ooh, what is this?
There you go. See, I knew that was. I'll be having these topics pop in my head from time to time, and I had to just drop them down as soon as I get it. But yeah, I said that because that's a personal thing for me. Having been in obviously several relationships, you have to learn sometimes when the breakup is because you weren't prepared or you weren't prepared to be the person that person needed at that particular time, and admit that. Now, I think again, it goes back to kind of what I was talking about just a few minutes ago about the male ego. We don't ever want to admit when we're the problem. She's always crazy. It's always her. It's always something she did that made it happen for us not to be together. And then sometimes you got to step back and be like, nah, I could have done that a lot better. I could have handled this situation a lot better. And a lot of it is just, again, it boils down to just being honest with where you are in life, what you want out of life, what you're working on, and if that person is or can be a part of that. And if they can't, then you need to be by yourself. And I think I've learned that now especially I don't know what was happening last week when I put that in there that made me think of that. I was like, you know what, I probably should have held off on a couple of those relationships and just been like, you know what, we cool. I'd like to be friends with you, but I don't want to. I don't want to. What'd you say? I didn't even hear you.
Fuck. You're like, you're cool. I'd like to be friends. No, I know.
Yeah, let's say that. But instead of getting tied up into a relationship and then you realize, I don't really want to be in this. I don't think I really want to be in this. And now you're just going through the motions because you're in the relationship and it doesn't benefit either one of you because neither one of you are happy at that point. But 9 times out of 10 is, well, for me, it's been like, okay, well, no, that was a you thing. Had you been honest up front, and you probably wouldn't have been in that relationship, and you probably could have salvaged a friendship, or even, been friends, learn how to be friends first in order to get to that relationship if it was going to go to that.
Yep, and Crazy said that's a person thing, not a he or she. I don't think we said it was just for he's crazy. Crazy coming in here, a little attitude on hot. Yeah, coming in hot, late, but hot. But no, I agree with that. And I mean, I say it on stage, but it was true. I was single for like 10 years, and but like you, how you are single, like I never was like, woe is me, or I never had a problem with it. I was like, hey, I'm enjoying life. I'm cool. There's girls I may go out with, there maybe girls that's like we're booty calls for each other or whatever, and cool. But I was like, life was great,
Right.
I mean, it's and I think that's that's the difference between someone that gets into a relationship for someone to fill them or complete them versus someone that gets into a relationship with someone to complement them. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I was like, cool, I'm fine being single, and I didn't jump into shit like and then when the right person came around, it was great. It's it's
important.
And how much shit do you get about being single? Like, do you really, or nah?
I don't really hear a lot about it because I don't think people really know my status outside of listening to this podcast or we've talked personally. I don't think people really know if I have somebody or not, because I don't go out and I'm not like, hey man. Well, I talk about it on stage, obviously, that I'm single, but nobody's come up to me after and said, hey man, why are you single? It's never been really brought up like that. So it's interesting that it hasn't, but I'm at such peace right now that and we've talked about that before. I'm at such peace right now that I think for me to get into a relationship now is going to be very organic, and it's going to be something that I wasn't expecting because I'm not looking for that. I don't want to be. I think I said that repeatedly on the pod. I don't want to be somebody's everything. I don't even want you to depend. And I say this with an asterisk. When I say I don't want nobody to depend on me, I don't want to talk to you 24 hours a day.
You don't want to be their everything.
Yeah, I don't want to be everything.
Yeah,
I don't. So if you don't have something else going on for yourself that you can spend your time on, this ain't gonna. I ain't the guy.
Like, find a hobby, bitch.
Yeah, right. I ain't the guy for you. I guarantee I'm not the guy for you. Especially right now, I'm not the guy for you. I'm gonna piss you off. You're gonna get mad at me, and you gonna cuss me out, and I'm gonna be all the bad things that you say about every other dude you probably dealt with. But it's not going to be because I didn't tell you. It's going to be because you don't realize that you've been told the truth.
Yep.
So,
well, and I've always been pretty clear. Like if it's getting to where, we might be serious. Hold on, let me read this. Crazy said, we're the last of the generation. What up, Moody? That understands that the way the world is today, you can't bank off the wrong type of commitment. Truly need to do things that are healthy for you, 100%. And anybody that I was dating and it looked like it was getting to be into a serious thing, or we eventually did become a relation or go into a relationship, I was very clear that I always would tell people, my time is divided in 3 things. I need time with you, I need time for myself, and time with my friends, and you got to be okay with all of those. I don't want to be with my friends all the time. I don't want to be alone all the time. And I don't want to be, I don't want you to be my everything, So, and people, again, I think a lot of relationships, guys and gals will get into relationships looking for somebody to make them whole, which I think is the worst thing you can do, because they may not want that fucking responsibility, and it you may be setting yourself up for failure. Yeah. Why can't I hear you?
But that goes back to what I was talking about on that topic, when I realized that I know I've done that before. I've just been like, I'm not gonna say anything, and we'll just let this unfold, and we'll see how this plays out. And then next thing you know, you're in a relationship. You're like, I don't really think this is what I wanted. But it's also because I know for me that I was like, let's just see. And you can't take that approach, especially when you're dealing with somebody else. You can't take that approach when you're dealing with somebody else's life, and what their expectations are and what they want, because it becomes an issue down the road for sure.
Yeah, Moody asked, "Do I don't remember your ex, Moody. I have no idea. I have no idea. Did she come to one of the drafts or something? Moody, we do fantasy sports, all that shit. You looking at your watch? Not Jay out here cracking the relationship code. I don't know about that. I mean, I've had my failures. I was going to ask you. You were talking about on stage, that you mentioned that you're single. Have you ever had ever in your comedy career anybody like either slide into your DMs after a show or approach you after a show?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've definitely had people say, "Hey, it starts off with the, hey, you were funny tonight," and then the next thing you know, you're having conversations back and forth. But yeah, I mean that's happened, but nothing's materialized out of a comedy show where I've been like, hey, shit, I met this woman at a comedy show and now we dated for an extended period of time. That definitely ain't happened. Now a couple booty calls, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
okay,
yeah, not a long.
How did that go? How did that go down?
Oh, well, it came and went.
So did you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but it again, I think those were situations where you knew what it was.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
so
I've
like,
had that
hey, man,
too.
Listen, we hear this shit's gonna happen, and then you go on about your business, and we'll see what happens from there.
It's funny because people like they think of comics like the same as like rock stars, which I mean there are some aspects, but like I mean Carlos and I, we do our shows, we say thank you to everybody, we're very appreciative for anybody that comes out, and but after that we're like, all right, what movie we watching, what's documentary, right. What do we do? We can't wait, because usually we're splitting a room. And so we're like, man, what are we watching? And then he puts on his fucking Darth Maul mask.
Wow, that's what we doing. This is what we doing tonight.
And I'm fucking popping edible, and I'm just like, no, but it's yeah. I mean, it's crazy because we both been doing this like whatever 10, 15 years, whatever. But I think it's only been like. Maybe there's in that whole time maybe three or four times that I like hooked up with someone that specifically saw me from a comedy show over like what 16 years time for me. That it's crazy. It may not even be that much,
right? I was thinking even for myself, I was thinking maybe two, maybe in the time frame that I've been doing comedy, I've done comedy, maybe two. Yeah. But you couple that what you think about the dudes that we know who runs through them every week. You're like, God damn, dog. Like, Jesus, you don't get enough. Like, like that
while they have someone at home.
Right. So dude, this shit is wild out here. That's why I tell people all the time, man, if you I don't understand, and that's a topic probably for another day, is we need to really get into cheating. When you have someone good, genuinely good person at home, then what are you looking for outside of the house? And it actually came up as a topic on somebody else's page the other day, and I commented on it. But I'm like, you just go be single. If that's the life you want to live, go be single. It's because it's too much that comes with the problems that come with once they find out and if they know, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's too much.
It's funny because I as far back as I can remember, when I was saying like, oh, it'd be nice to be in a relationship, or if I was with someone, the thing I always said, and I was like, I know this probably sounds corny, like if I was talking to somebody through online dating or whatever, and they were talking about like what I'm looking for and this and that, I always said, I just want somebody nice, genuinely nice. And it sounds so simple and so corny, but I was like, I want somebody like that's genuinely nice, has a good heart, and it'd be a good balance. I can be the asshole and they're the nice one,
I'm trying to read this. What is
Crazy Cutie said, Jay out here cracking. And then Moody said, no Vegas. She called up when we were all there and Ron cussed her out. I don't remember that, Moody. I'm fucking old, Does yes, Jeffrey said my DMs, he always thought his DMs were broken. And then Crazy said something about you, not that great. He's still clearly single, still okay. I'm sorry, too soon, Car. Love you. I don't know. I don't
know what does that mean? That I'm not that great. Is that what you're saying? And he was like, hey, no, I'm just joking. Is that what that was? Clarify that one for me, Crazy. But love you too.
Yeah. Oh, Moody, yeah. Does he /she etc. does that person give you peace? That's fucking so huge.
That
so
part. Yeah, because listen, I've dated some great women in my day, but they didn't bring me peace. And that
talk about that.
Huh? He said, "What?
Talk about that."
Yeah, I mean, it didn't. It was always something. Like if I had to, there's not one in particular, but if I had to break it down, it was like I like being with you, but I don't like being with you. And that's a weird concept to think about. It's like I don't like certain things that just kind of put me in a bad mental space, and that fucks with my peace. And when you start messing with my peace, now I don't know if I really want to be around you, which I'll find anything outside of here to do other than be with you. And I don't mean cheat. I just mean I don't want to be at the house, or I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you that much. We just gonna be distant. So I've definitely had that before, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all.
And then Crazy said that she was talking about how I had asked you, anybody sliding your DMs, or Jay said, how did that go for you dating people from your DMs? And then she said, not that great, clearly,
right?
You're still single. Too soon, Car. Now I put in here, you probably didn't see it because I put it in here pretty recently. When you are dating, have you done online dating?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so when you're dating, I guess in general, or whether online dating or in life, will you date again? You're just starting out with with these imaginary women. Do you date multiple people at the same time and then eventually be like, okay, like if they keep progressing and you're like, okay, I got to make a decision? Or do you like, okay, I'm interested in this chick, let's see where this goes, and then no, that didn't work out, okay, I'll just focus on this chick? Or how are you in your dating?
I can talk to several women at a time, and I mean just talking versus going out on dates. I don't want to be that dude that's out here just this multiple data type dude, because one, it's financially strapping. That you every time you got to figure out every night or every weekend who you taking out. That's too much, and I don't even want to put that much financial I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I don't want to put that much money into that.
Yeah.
When I can figure out via talking to somebody or talking to those people, hey, let me kind of weed you out and figure out who I actually want to take out and spend some more time with, if that makes sense.
No, so when I was dating, I always...
There you go, financial burden. There you go, Crazy.
There you go. And Moody, I saw your comment, and we will get to that. That'll be our next thing after this. But I always focused on one person, because I felt like just like you said, like I might, you have your initial texting, or maybe you're talking on the phone and everything. But if I like take an interest in somebody and we start going on a couple of dates, I'll kind of see that through one way or another, because I feel like if I'm dating girl A on Monday and then another girl on Tuesday and then another girl on Wednesday, I don't feel like I'm giving a true 100% attempt or commitment to any of them.
Mhm.
You know, so I'd rather, you know, see something through and find out, yeah, she's great, let's keep moving forward, or nope, that didn't work out, now I can focus on, let me, you know, see somebody else.
I will say this, that process of elimination is pretty quick with me right now. I mean,
Would you say 3 days? 3 days?
3 days. 3 days, 10 texts, 2 calls. Uh, I mean, because I know if I want to spend more time at least talking to you, and if those things don't, if I'm not motivated by that after the third day, then I already know. I'm like, all right, this is just it was cool for that particular moment, but I'm not going to waste the time. So,
Well, yeah.
see it
And
now.
now, so Moody asked, have you ever been catfished from online dating? Moody, you've been to my shows. You've probably heard the one. I got I have 3 that are all 3 bad ones. And then one, there was one that wasn't a catfish, but wait, what's this crazy said? Crazy said, I think if 2 people are on a dating app and they agree to go out and one doesn't have an interest in the other one, without the interest should not allow the one that has the interest to pay. Well, you fucking, that's why
Well, how do you know? How do you know who has the what if both of y'all don't have interest? Did y'all just run out?
you just pay your own. You pay your own.
Right. Okay.
Good touch.
You're like, I'm gonna pay my check, you pay yours. Sayonara.
I'll let you go first on the catfish thing, because I got 3 bad stories and 1 good one.
Well, I didn't stay on that long because I got irritated with the fact some of them was I'm not paying to meet nobody. So I was like, I ain't doing that. Those sites where you have to pay
Oh,
extra
yeah.
for your match for all the things to be matched. I was like, I ain't doing all that. But I only had one time where I met somebody and I was like, the face, it was one of those situations where the face was what it was, but I never saw the rest of her. And then I was like, yeah, nah, this ain't gonna work for me. Be mad cool, but that just ain't gonna work for me.
So I'll try. I'm not gonna do my act. I'm just gonna tell these as they are. So one it wasn't really a catfish, but there was a girl I met that had no pictures on her profile, and I was like, this again, we're talking like maybe 20 years ago. So but
well, that's when y'all was still sending out Polaroids.
yeah, that's fucking, I'd have a carrier pigeon deliver a picture. But this one girl, in her profile, that she said that she was Korean and black, and she listed like she had an average build, this or whatever, right? I had pictures on my profile, but we decided to meet. And I remember when I saw her, I was like, holy shit, I hope she's still cool with me, because she was,
Right.
she was fine. Me and her actually ended up dating. Like that was a girl I dated for like 3 years. And then there was another girl that didn't have a picture on her profile. and I remember in her profile, she said that she was, I think curvy was like what the site had, like you could be listed as curvy. And she was a beautician. So I was like, okay, beautician, she's probably nails, hair all done up, right? And so when we were talking before we met, we ended up going out on a date, but before we met, I was like, so you say that you're like curvy, like you're like thick? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And then again, I'm trying to get a picture. I was like, so who would you say you like? You were, is there like a celebrity you'd say you were built like? And she named the worst person to name as a celebrity because they've been all over the place. She said, yeah, I'm kind of built like Queen Latifah.
Why did I think you were gonna say that? I was like,
because I'm like, she's been all over the spectrum as far as like, I was like,
you got my Queen Latifah set it off, or are we talking about the Equalizer? Which one is it?
So we decided to go out on a date, right? So I was living in Washington State, and we were gonna meet at again, this was like, I'm in my maybe 20s or 30s, but we were going to meet at a Red Robin and have dinner, and then we were going to go do something else. I can't remember. And I'm pulling up. This is in like fucking south of Renton. I forget the mall, but the Red Robin was at. Anyways, I'm pulling up and I was like, "Hey, I'm here," and she goes, "Oh, where you at?" And she tells me, so I'm like trying to. She goes, "Oh, I see you." So I'm trying to drive to her. She's wearing a black form-fitting dress, and I don't know. When I see her, I'm like, "Is she fat or pregnant?" That's how big. And so I should have just fucking been like, bye. Just kept driving. I'm like, Queen Latifah has never been this big. So I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm stuck in this date. So and I'm gonna try and keep all of these pretty quick. But we're walking into the Red Robin. She's walking in front of me. We walk by a table of these two black dudes to our left. And as she's in front of me, she walks by them. I'm behind her. She doesn't hear them, but I hear them. And every time she takes a step, one of the dudes just goes,
damn,
like Jurassic Park. And I'm trying not to laugh. I'm like, oh fuck. So we're sitting at the table, and somebody calls me. I have no idea who it is, and all I think is, oh, this is my out. So I answer it, and I don't know what the fuck they're saying, and I'm just like, "Are you okay? Okay, I'll be there in like 15 minutes. I just sat down. Blah blah. What happened?" I was like, "Oh, my buddy's in an accident. He's at the hospital. I gotta go." So, yeah, and that was the end of that. But
She's
then
like, I don't know why she went in there ate a burger anyway.
then yes, it was Renton. Yeah, it wasn't South Center. It was the one south of that. Moody. What's the fucking one in like Auburn? I think. Fuck, I can't remember it. It's between Renton and Tacoma. Federal Way, is that it down there? Fuck, I don't know. I've lived all over, so I can't. They all blend together. Anyways, next one. There was a girl that had pictures on her profile. We never talked. I don't think we ever talked on the phone. We had just been texting and messaging, but we had decided we were gonna. It was something real casual. I was gonna pick her up, and we were gonna go to like this bar close to her and something really, really chill, like just to talk, you know. I get to her place, and at some point between when she took these pictures that she put on her profile and me meeting her right now, she was in a major car accident, had brain damage, and like the left side of her body is dead, like just, you know. So she answers the door and is talking like this, and as soon as I'm like, who? What the fuck happened? I'm like, and this is all in my head, but I'm like, how do you not tell someone? How do you not tell someone this? So I fucking knocked on her door. She answers, and I'm trying not to reveal it in my face. We go inside, and it's all just small talk, and I'm just in my head going, what are we doing here? What is happening?
What's happening?
It gets to the point where she's like, so are we going to the thing? You know, or whatever. I'm not going to do the fucking face or the voice, but she's like, she's ready to go. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I got two options here. I can go on this date. We can go to the bar. I know that there's nothing's going to happen after this date. And just how I am, I would have paid. Or I can just tell her this ain't for me. She's going to think I'm an asshole, a piece of shit, all that. And maybe she's right. But I get my night back, and I'm not spending the money. I'm not spending money on this date. So that's what I did. I was like, look, I didn't know, you know, you didn't tell me that this, you know, had happened. And I kind of feel like it's being deceptive. And I don't think I don't think we're going to do it. It was so uncomfortable. But as soon as I walked out and that door shut, I was like, yes. So
hey,
but
I mean this, huh?
What's up?
I'm looking at Kalia. Kalia enters the building, but no, that's I mean, that's being honest. Because how was that dinner gonna go, or whatever y'all was gonna do?
Yeah.
It was gonna be such a weird interaction the entire time y'all were together that it was gonna be uncomfortable anyway. So shoot, no, I would have did the same thing. Now, baby, I can't do this. Like you said, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So
the other two like bad experiences, and these I do tell on stage. The one is I went out on a date with a little person where she lied about her height. She had said she was 5'2", and I remember this was in Oregon. We went to McMinimans, or we met at McMinimans, and all of her pictures on her profile were headshots, and so there was no reference of size. But she said in her profile, she said she was 5'2". And then I remember I'm at McMinimans. She's like, "Oh, I'm here." So I see her pull up in her car. As soon as she gets out of her car, I was like, is that a fucking little person? I was like, that's a fucking little person. And I am 6'8". And I remember we walk into McMinimans and everybody is just fucking looking at us. Like, is the circus in town or whatever the fuck they're thinking? And then I remember specifically, she ordered tater tots. And I was like, there is a joke there. I will leave it alone, but that was, we were one and done.
She's holding them like this.
That is so good.
Up.
That's so good.
They're like a little gerbil.
Oh my god. Oh fuck, that is good. That is so good.
Oh my god! I've never seen somebody turn their eyes with both hands ever.
Oh fucking! You want some? You want one of my tots? Fuck, that is funny, Carlos. Holy shit! Fucking crazy.
Yes,
Said car. No.
I was just saying that was the immediate visual when you said that. Like, god damn.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Add that to your bit. Yeah. Seriously. And then the last one was I went out with a trans woman, but she didn't tell me she was trans. And I'm not gonna do the bit I do about it, but I can just tell you that how it went down. So we had talked on the phone. We met and I thought we were gonna go somewhere to go eat, right? So I remember, like, I got to we met at the Las Vegas Athletic Club. I got there early, and then when she pulls up, as soon as she got out of the car, I was like, wow, she's really skinny and like no curves. And I'm very much like curves. And then she went around to her passenger side and grabbed her dog, which was fucking weird. So when I told her, I was like, I'm here, and she's like, I see you, I'll be right over, which, if anybody's ever done online dating, right there, I thought that was weird, because with online dating being strangers, I was like, how's she so comfortable that I'm not a fucking crazy person, and I don't know her, so I'm like, but she's got her dog, and now she's walking over to my car, and I rolled down the window thinking that she was going to be like, hey, great to meet you. Okay, follow me. We're going to go. I wasn't living here in Vegas at the time. Right. I think I might have been visiting, or maybe I just moved here. I don't think I was visiting here, but I didn't know anything. So I literally, when I rolled down the window, I'm like looking to have her lean in and be like, hey, I know a great place over here. Follow me, blah, 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 blah. She just opened my car and she gets in my car. So now she's sitting next to me and I'm looking at her, and she has a wig on 100%, and her makeup was just fucked. Like, her lipstick's all over her teeth. And I'm like, but I'm looking at her and I was like, I think
the first days on the job.
Yeah. I was like, I think this is a trans woman. And so she just goes, where are we going? And I mean, well, it's just not my thing, no malice, but I'm not, I don't want to date somebody trans. It's just, I know me, and I know I can't get past that. Even if she has the most beautiful vagina in the world now, I just know that I said this on a podcast on the Hollings Worthless years ago, but I know every time I would look at it, I would just be like, there used to be like a dick and balls there, man. I just know me, and I'm not saying I'm not going to try and justify it. It's just, I just know me, and I know I would not be comfortable with that. So, so she gets, goddamn. Okay, she gets in the car and she goes, where are we going? And I just said, oh, I thought we were going to take our own cars. And literally for like 30 minutes, she would not get out of the car. I was like, why don't I just follow you? And she was like, why don't we just ride together? And I was trying to make up excuses. I was like, oh, my buddy, after lunch, I got to pick up my buddy from the airport and blah, 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 blah.
We go pick him up.
2 cars. I'll go. So, God damn it. This is the last episode with this fucking shitty mic. So eventually she was like, okay, how about you follow me to Chinatown and whatever. So she gets out of the car. She gets in her car. Yeah, I do, Moody. I'm following her, and then she went through a light, and then I just took a right, and I was like, goodbye. And I immediately am like blocking her or whatever. But I mean, with online dating, you would see there would be trans people, on the dating apps, and a lot of them at the very top of their profile, they would say, I'm trans. If that's not your thing, then, don't be mean or whatever. And cool. I get it. But this lady did not put that she was trans on her dating profile. And it's not what I was looking for. So, if you want to hear the whole story, you can come to one of my shows and you'll hear the whole joke. But
you got to be upfront about that stuff. Again, we understand, and we're living in different times right now, and everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice as to who they want to be and who they want to date. But don't put yourself in a bad position being trans or gay or whatever the case may be, and not letting someone else know that, because you don't know what their response is. Yeah. You driving off is super cool to that for that particular scenario, but they deal with so much violence and abuse. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't. I mean,
if you go off looks, a lot of people could look at. Yeah, damn it! A lot of people could look at me and make assumptions like, oh, maybe I might beat the shit out of somebody trans. That might be what some people might think looking at me, and like you never know how somebody's going to react to that. Like, right. what if I was like, what the fuck, and lose my shit or be violent.
And now that person's in your car. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
The flip of it. What if I'm into that? What if that's my thing, man? Fucking, oh shit, you should have told me, or, I don't know. It's, it was fucking very uncomfortable, but,
I get it.
But all right, we are about time to wrap it. And, I will have a new mic by next show, Moody. Let's do our plugs. Hit it, Carlos.
Well, this weekend we are at, Pachanga, in Temecula, with Jay, and then next week we're in Boston. Boston Laughs. Was it Laugh Boston or Boston?
Laugh Boston.
Laugh Boston. After that, but I have other stuff coming up at Jimmy Kimmel's, LA Comedy Club, of course, and then we
Dallas.
We putting up some other cities as well. We got a lot coming on, so I'm pleased with that. So check it out at parttimefamous.com.
Yes, and just like you said, we are in Pachanga. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. This weekend at Pachanga Casino and Resort in Temecula, California. Next weekend, Big Irish Jay and Friends, my favorite show of the year. My buddies are all on the show. We got Carlos Anthony, Todd Royce from Kill Tony, and last but definitely not least, Kalia McNeil, the great. After that, be in Boise, Idaho, Lounge at the End of the Universe, and then Sanibel, Florida. I'm just going to rattle off cities I'll be at. You can BigIrishJ.com. You can see all these shows. But we got Sanibel, Florida, West Jordan, Utah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Avenel, New Jersey, St. Paul, Minnesota, Manteca, California. I'll be at the Comedy Cellar here for a week. Colorado Springs, Sacramento, California, Gilbert, Arizona. Go to BigIrishJ.com for tickets. And Carlos is at parttimefamous.com. And until next week, we'll keep trying to put the love back in you right. Bye.